Greetings. Today, the moon goes into Sagittarius, bringing a little bit of a lighter vibe from where the moon has been in Scorpio. Let's take a look at how Sagittarius moon invites us to think about the bigger picture. I'm Marina Orms here with your Astro Vibe for Tuesday, August 13th. So a couple of things are going on. The moon goes into Sagittarius actually about 3 a.m. Pacific time. So you will have to adjust for your time zone. And so, we had yesterday I shared about the Scorpio moon, kind of an intense one. And so if you missed my videos for the last couple of days, check those out. Sunday's video was actually about a bigger picture topic. Pluto returning to Capricorn on September 1st, which, by the way, Pluto will be staying in Capricorn until after the November election in the United States. So really interesting in terms of the bigger picture of the collective and themes of freedom and systems and building the foundations of the future. So if you missed my video from Sunday, definitely check it out. Really important and valuable, I think, information for all of us to just be aware of. So with the moon going into Sagittarius at 3 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, August 13th, we have a shift in energy. And like I said, so yesterday the moon was in Scorpio. It was first quarter moon, so a little bit of invitation to make some choices that are going to, if we are being honest with ourselves, help us step into a more powerful way of being. So in yesterday's video, a little bit of a deeper dive on the Scorpio energies. Definitely check out yesterday's video if you have been feeling the intensity and want a little bit more context, if you missed that yesterday. That was Monday, August 12th. And then, so today, the mood shifts. The moon goes into Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is a fire sign, and where we feel things and deal with these deep energies in Scorpio, descent into the underworld, letting go of the past, a death and rebirth process can be very intense sometimes, and also very deeply felt. So often, especially, anytime a moon is in a water sign, we're more prone to having emotions and having emotions sort of creep into our lives, and we're to the point where we can't ignore them, right? But with the moon in Scorpio, especially, those emotions can be really deep, right? Getting to some really deep truths and themes. And that's why they say Scorpio work is shadow work. It's about getting into that deeper place of truth that we may sometimes prefer to keep in the shadows, but it's powerful to bring it into the light of day. So, okay, Sagittarius moon means that we are moving out of that deeper emotional energy and into this more fiery movement-oriented energy. So Sagittarius is the sign of travel, of philosophy, of beliefs and belief systems, and where we place our faith and trust. So our hope, our optimism, it's ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is that ultimate capacity to experience optimism and expand into bigger possibilities. So with the Sagittarius moon, we get a little bit of a bigger picture, bird's eye view of what we've been moving through. So some of those deeper energies, we could be a little bit more philosophical about them once the moon goes into Sagittarius. We can think about the meaning and begin to sort of understand in a way that we are able to maybe understand, communicate, tell the story which is another great keyword for Sagittarius, which is storytelling. And so how we tell the story, and that is the same thing essentially as beliefs, right? Our beliefs are how we tell the story. And so maybe those beliefs need to be updated or at least reflected on as we process the energy that has been moving deep inside for the last couple of days. And we are in the Leo moon cycle. So that theme of self-expression, creativity, and we are now seeing, okay, here's, here is how we can expand into our bigger sense of self. So we transform inside the cocoon with the Scorpio moon, and then the moon goes into Sagittarius, and we get that maybe a little bit of the butterfly drying its wings, getting ready to fly and realizing that we have now a so much bigger world open to us. So it's a great time to put things out there, reflect on the meaning of what you're learning about your creative process, about who you are and how to express yourself and how to share and shine your light in the world. So any kind of creative process could, just be having the wind at your sails a little bit. And so go for it, try things out, that spirit of the archer where you are going for that distant target and let yourself start to fly. So feel what that feels like. And, then you get to continue the process. So the moon is in Sagittarius. Also, and I've noticed that other astrologers have been talking quite a bit about a mutable grand cross that will be happening tomorrow. So what does that mean? Tomorrow, August 14th, we have, first of all, the exact conjunction of Mars and Jupiter in Gemini. And so I have been talking about that upcoming conjunction, and it's been in the vibe, in the soup that we swim in recent days and weeks, building, right? It's building to this exact point that will be taking place on Wednesday, August 14th. And so when those two planets come together, we have the energy of action, courage, expression and movement that happens with Aries, a boldness, a sense of starting things, initiating, pioneering, being active and proactive. Together with Jupiter, which, as I mentioned, is about expansion. And so having expansion again, this feeling of the wind in your sails, especially related to Gemini, which is words, communication, information, learning, mental processing. So where we need to learn and open our minds to expand into this bigger picture of how we understand and describe ourselves, the world around us, how we need to be in the world, and what that looks like in terms of our self-expression and creative process. So finding the words to describe who you are at that deeper level, being authentic and sharing of your essence and your truth. So that is Mars and Jupiter conjunct. And what makes it a grand cross is that the conjunction takes place in a square to Saturn in Pisces and also a square to Venus in Virgo. And so that makes a T square. And then the moon moves through the fourth corner of the square in middle degrees of Sagittarius. So as the moon enters Sagittarius today, it's in that earlier part of Sagittarius. And then by Wednesday, it is moving through those middle degrees and opposing the Mars Jupiter conjunction and forming that grand cross. So there are many energies involved. It's a complex energy, but essentially it's when a grand cross forms, it is typically and in its most pure sense, it is in one of the modes. So we have cardinal, fixed, and mutable. This one is in mutable signs. So all four mutable signs, which is Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. And a grand cross, so as I was sharing yesterday, any kind of square is pressure to make a choice, pressure to step up, pressure to improve ourselves, to get better and stronger and more clear about who we are, what we want, how to go about getting it. And so this grand cross is essentially four squares in a big, it's 90-degree lines in one big square. And so just to paint a little picture, because I think sometimes we get disconnected from the wonder that we are actually on an earth hurtling through space, surrounded by planets and stars, and that these are living things, lights, and bodies out there in the cosmos that are part of our experience of life. And so here's the picture I'm going to paint, is that when we're talking, what we really mean when we say a grand cross is we mean that when one of those four planets is setting, the opposite planet will be rising. So you have those two planets opposite, one setting, the other rising at the same time. And then you add two more planets, one directly above and one directly below. So remember, on even though it's the earth below our feet, if you keep going all the way through the earth, you get to the sky again. So that's where that fourth planet would be. So you have four points of the square, one to the east, one to the west, one above and one below, forming a grand cross, or one planet in each of those 4 points. And then as they rotate through the daily rotation of the earth, they rise and set, but they stay in that same formation of being sort of in an more or less, it's not exactly perfectly square, but pretty close, exact square as they move together through in the sky that we see from here on Earth. Okay, I probably just lost some of you with technical details. So let's bring it back to what does it mean? So mutable signs have to do with letting go. They have to do with releasing, with surrender, humility, being humble, recognizing that what we have known is not all there is, right? What we have known is not all there is. And so for Gemini, that comes through as a sense of curiosity, gathering information, exploring with an open mind. With Virgo, that has to do with humility, being of service, sort of surrendering our ego to a bigger experience of life and things that have importance beyond us. Sagittarius, it has to do with releasing old ways of being, moving beyond boundaries, going into new territory, expanding into new possibilities. And with Pisces, it has to do with releasing what we have known, transcending the physical and human limitations of the physical world and connecting spiritually. So when we have a mutable cross like this, we have all 4 of those activated. We have this energy of release, this energy of surrender, of humility, of there's something bigger at work. It is our job not to control it or create it, but to be in awe of it, to witness, to allow, to let go of our expectations, a need for control, and to allow what is unfolding to unfold. And we have the Mars Jupiter energy, we have the moon in Sagittarius energy, and all of this is creating pressure that says you need to transform, and that is our best response. It is asking us, remember, it's a choice point of multiple proportions. So it's a choice point that is asking us to step into bigger possibilities. But in the process, we must let go of how we thought things were supposed to work. We must let go of attachments, of pride, of ego, of control, all of that. So that is the challenge of tomorrow's Mutable Grand Cross. And unlike some astrological configurations, this one will move through fairly quickly. I mean, it's a powerful energy, but because it's the moon in that fourth point, the moon moves through a sign in a couple of days. So it's not, as sometimes the outer planets create longer term experiences. So anyway, that is the invitation of tomorrow's Mutable Grand Cross. And I will be here again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me. Check out my videos from recent days, especially Sundays, about Pluto returning to Capricorn. That's another significant point. We've also got a couple of eclipses coming up in September, October. So lots going on. We just got to ride this roller coaster and stay grounded within ourselves and trust the process. All right. Thanks for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can learn more about me at astrologyheals.com. I have opportunities to work with me in a private session or through a recorded reading, which I send to you. I've got guided meditations, books, and other products on my website. So check out astrologyheals.com. Thanks for being here, and I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye.